New details are emerging from the situation happening over a gateway, specifically a lawsuit of old members or maybe even current members that are suing to get back the money that they tithe to the church. If you guys aren't familiar with the gateway situation, super sad, tragic, confusing, complicated, of Robert Morrison being alleged of having a inappropriate, illegal relationship with a girl that he was friends with her family from, I want to say as young as 11 to 13 or something like that. Super, super dark stuff. And he's since stepped down. His son stepped down. I think there's been an overhaul of much of the board and just a complete scandal and super sad. Apparently, there's a class action lawsuit against the church from members about their giving. Okay, so this is a news article from CBS Texas.
New developments in the latest class action lawsuit filed against Gateway Church in Southlake. That lawsuit demands Gateway refund donations that have been made by church members, known commonly as a tithe. Well, today we found out hundreds of other members are in fact wanting refunds on their tithing as well.
So does that bankrupt the church?
Yeah, it's going to sink a church for sure. That's going to sink them. Because all that money's already allocated. It's spent.
I'm curious what percentage were people tithing, what percentage of people were giving regular, maybe not 10%, and what this number would total.
Some of you have raised concerns about Gateway's financials and stewardship.
Over the weekend, Gateway Church addressed its congregation, saying it's hired a new agency to look into its financial ethics, also claiming the church has audited its records for years.
It has had independently audited financial statements since 2005.
This all comes on the heels of a new class action lawsuit filed Friday. In the suit, a CPA who worked with Global Ministries claims only around $3 million was given to Global Ministries a year out of its $100 million yearly revenue.
Okay, so this is alleging that they, not just because of the scandal, that they weren't stewarding the money the way they claimed. That's a different issue.
That's a whole different can of worms.
So if you're saying you're giving 3% or whatever, we're giving this much, but this much isn't going to global missions, or this much isn't going to, feeding people or benevolence or fill in a blank.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
That's a serious problem. Go ahead.
However, former lead pastor Robert Morris said 15%, or just around $15 million, would go to Global Ministries.
And now we give 15% to missions, and then 15% of that goes to Jewish ministry.
Now, hundreds of additional church members who gave donations to the church now want a refund, something Morris repeatedly promised.
If you are not fully satisfied at the end of that year, I'll give you your money back.
In a state...
This man pulled the Alex Hormozy.
He played himself,
This
bro.
man pulled the Alex Hormozy $100 million offer.
He did.
He was like, and I'm so confident you will get your money back if it's not used exactly how you want. This man said there's no barrier to entry. There's no risk.
Wow. Oh, man. Jewish outreach ministry is probably what he was talking about there, Big Chief. That's crazy.
That's not nothing.
He offered them their money back. It sounded like he said,
if you're not satisfied.
If you're not satisfied with a breakthrough in your finances.
Whoa.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
Something Morris repeatedly promised.
If you are not fully satisfied at the end of that year, I'll give you your money back.
I challenge you to tithe for a year, and if you're not fully satisfied, I will give. That's very prosperity gospel-ish.
Huh.
We give,
unless
and we're generous because we're commanded to, not because I'm expecting
a satisfaction.
That's the wrong motives, is it not?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I would say the only way that he, with like a pre-context clip, could make it a little bit less awful is if he was saying giving does something to your heart, and when you feel like you're going to be really need that money, or you're going to be clinging onto that money, or regret doing it, you will never regret doing it.
Yes.
Do it for a year, and I guarantee you'll be fully satisfied. Like that could have been the context of like I guarantee you'll just feel better as a person, but that's still it's still not the theology around tithing, and does open you up to a liability of like, what if the person just is like, you know what? I'm not fully satisfied. I'd rather have paid off debt. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Oh, whew.
All right, go ahead.
Saw nothing.
In a statement obtained by the lawsuit's legal counsel, Gateway's legal team wrote in a statement in part, once donations are made, they constitute a completed unconditional gift to the church and become the property of the church. Even
They hit him with the legalese.
Like, I don't really care what pastor said on the pulpit. Here's the terms and conditions.
They hit
that
him
you,
with the legalese, dog.
You check the box.
You check the
We're
box.
not your private savings account.
It's our property now.
if described
your
as
money is our property now.
You're done. Go lay down.
the return of donation would be in violation of federal law.
This case is about two things. It's about fraud and breach of contract. It's to not let us see the books and to lay in the weeds. And this new defense of it's not legal to return the money is absurd.
Former Gateway member Valentina Hansen hopes Gateway is more transparent.
Know that this is not God's plan. God is shining a light on Gateway Church right now, and he wants to clean it up. And so we as Christians need to stand up and make sure that that happens.
Wow. That's heartbreaking, man. Man, prayers to everybody that is a member, was a member, transitioning from being a member at Gateway. I couldn't imagine the magnitude of the feeling that your pastor was not who you thought he was, on top of then the funds weren't spent the way you thought they should be spent. That's a big bummer, because it's not, see, to me, it's not about like, because here's the deal. Most churches don't really compensate their employees that well. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
You're making below market rate for the skill set that you're operating.
That's why you're usually called to ministry.
Yes.
Not
Ministry is a call.
offered a great job in ministry.
So I don't even think the issue is all the staff are just balling out of control. I recently hung out with someone at a church, Gateway size, one of the biggest churches in America. I personally, if I said the name, you guys will all know what church I'm talking about. And he told me, like, there's a serious financial ceiling there, and it's very difficult to make a living, a living where you can save for retirement, send your kids to college, buy a home, right? So this isn't like a career path or a career trajectory you choose. This is something you're called into. So I say all that to say, I don't think the issue is these people were getting paid too much. The issue is you said the money was going here.
Yeah.
And you lied and the money wasn't really going here.
Yep.
You said 15% was going to missions and only 3% went to missions. What's up? What's up with that? I want my money back. You made the offer to give the money back.
And now the question is, what is the next step? Well, this class action suit will go before a federal judge, and that judge will decide whether or not the church is obligated to issue those refunds.
Man, I don't know. I don't know this from a legal standpoint. I don't know if they are obligated. I don't know, but that sounds very damning for him to say that from the pulpit.
It's not nothing. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, that sounds like he definitely opened himself up to some liability there.
Rebecca said they used her in a cameo appearance in their broadcast, acting like they were helping women. She said, but I personally never actually received mentoring community or any pastoral support.
Oh, Rebecca, I'm so sorry.
So they used her as like a...
They used her as like a prop.
It was like stock footage.
Oh, Rebecca, I'm so sorry. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.